What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another FC26 video where today guys we're going to talk about and look through the very extensive and much awaited patch notes from EA Sports. We've got V1.1.0 is now in the game and it is already there for you to download. I've seen some snippets from people on my timeline, from my community, giving me their feedback on this, but I'd love to hear your feedback if you played the game since the patch, or if you just got some thoughts and feelings on the patch down below in the comment section. If you're enjoying the content here, of course, on the channel, feel free to drop a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it because like there's a lot here, guys, right? There's a lot. I tried to like zoom in, but it keeps oh, there we go, there we go, this would be the max. So I might have this one split screen, so it's not just my face cam in a corner with all of this, but you can see it there instead. And yeah, there's a lot to get through. To start with, FC26 1.1.0 is dropping soon. Here are the changes and issues addressed based on your feedback. So first of all, I'm going to try and like give my opinions on a lot of things here as well. Obviously, I haven't actually played the game yet since the patch, but there's a lot to talk about either way. This whole based on your feedback thing, I appreciate it, but also like give over, you know? Like you're not just making these changes based on our feedback, you're making these changes based on your feedback and what you see your end. And although I absolutely appreciate that EA are trying to let us know that they are listening to us this year, or at least they're trying to, drilling it down our throats that we are the reason this happened, I don't think is a positive, because now if it goes wrong, you're effectively saying this is our fault and we don't make the game, we just give opinions on the game. So like I didn't want to start with a negative, and maybe I shouldn't have been negative about that, but whatever, man. Every time I read the whole based on your feedback thing, I think all right, like you're listening to us, just, you know, whatever. Anyway, defending in competitive gameplay, of course, this won't influence the I can't remember what it's called for the other one. Increased aggressiveness of man marking that only applies to the defensive side's AI players around kickoff. Hopefully, kickoffs are fixed. I've scored a lot of goals from kickoff, guys, right? I concede more than I score from kickoff. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just bad at scoring from kickoffs. I don't know why. But I concede way more than I score. The amount of games I've genuinely lost over the last 2 weeks because of kickoff goals, I'm looking so much forwards to having those as wins now if they've patched this. Slightly increased sprint jockey speed for user control players, much needed, especially in a defensive setup. Moderately increased jockey and sprint jockey responsiveness for user control players. And again, that should really help people to defend the fidget spinning on the top of the box, which we're looking forwards to. When taking the ball from the attacker without tackling, the attacker could have sometimes incorrectly won the ball back. Good to know that's been fixed as well. Blocking a pass could have sometimes resulted in the passer unintentionally getting the ball back. Here's something I want to talk about with EA's patch notes as well, right? These are issues that they have addressed. So they have addressed an issue where blocking a pass could have sometimes resulted in the passer unintentionally getting the ball back. Now, I could take the implication from that suggests that now the person that blocks the pass will get the ball. But they don't actually explicitly state that. They just say that they've addressed the issue. What does that mean? What does it mean that you've addressed? Like, we can imply for sure, but what does it mean? Improved animation selection for standing tackles, much needed, very good. Increase the amount of players that stay back to defend when taking corners. If they have fixed corners, kickoffs, and counters, honestly, even if something else has broken off the back of it, I still think it will be a better game. Because for me personally, guys, it is so exhausting having your own corner and worrying that you are going to concede. Genuinely. Right. It shouldn't be like it should, like I've seen people over the last couple of weeks, their game style, their play style is to just give their opponent a corner. As soon as they get possession of the ball, if they're not on a counter attack, they just give their opponent a corner. They should just never be the reality. Sometimes a requested tackle could result in 2 tackle attempts. They addressed instances of tackles from behind incorrectly winning the ball. That is really good. I use Enforcer a lot, and the amount of times I'm like using Enforcer to like body somebody off, and then I get tackled from behind. I'm like, come on, man, what's the point? So that's good. I like that. Addressed cases of tackle animations ending too early. Yes, not only that, but also intercept animations as well. They will start to put their foot out to intercept the ball and then just pull it back in and let the ball go. Let's fix that as well, please. That'd be great. Passing. Ground and lofted through passes are now more respectful of your aim, input, and are less assisted. That's going to be, I think, an adjustment for a lot of people, because even if, I struggle with passing a lot when it comes to, like, for example, right, I'll give an example. Yesterday I was playing Rivals. I was on a counter-attack. I had the ball, I can't remember whoever my left mid was. I had my two strikers, like, up alongside me, and there was only one defender in front of them. And then further right of the field, I had Ethan Nwaneri, who was marked by two players, the left back that was covering back and the left mid or left-sided winger that was also tracking back. And so I had an overload just to my right where I had a 2-on-1. So I've aimed there. I've pressed past lightly. What does the ball do? It fires to Ethan Nwaneri over the right-hand side. And I'm like, how has this happened? How has this happened? Because obviously I've aimed the pass correctly. I've even put good pass power on it. But for some reason, the game's assist situation for passes has decided that the guy marked by two players miles away off screen is the player that the ball should go to, and it obviously shouldn't go there. So with this, I'm hoping that things like that are fixed, but I'm also hoping that it's not going to completely change passing, because people's muscle memory will be set in now of like where and how to pass. So let's hope that this is like a positive, and it did need to be changed, to be fair. Ground through passes were sometimes not being hit to the intended receiver. Yes. Ground through passes were not leading enough at times. Yes. Again, we've had this issue in FIFA, not FC so much these days, but in FIFA over the years, where through balls used to either not go far enough or go all the way up to the goalkeeper, and it was just like, it was triggering. Like that, it's why people started using manual through balls, because they were just more accurate than assisted through balls. This year, quite a lot of times, unless I do a player lock through ball, quite a lot of times if I just do a regular through ball, it doesn't get past that first defender. And through balls, they're supposed to go into the space, right? Allow the forward player to kind of run onto it. So I'm glad that they've addressed that. Lobbed through passes could have been affected by weather conditions, even if there weren't any in authentic gameplay. That's a big problem. First time through pass requests could have sometimes resulted in a player trapping the ball instead of passing it. I also hope, I don't know if it's in here yet, but I hope that they've addressed an issue with shooting first time shots, especially when I cut the ball back and press shoot. My players, doesn't matter how much power I put on it, they tend to just hit the ball extremely weakly, to the point where sometimes a clear open goal with good, 2-3 bars of power will just be touched and won't even reach the goal line. I hope that's addressed, but this reminded me of that either way. Requested low crosses could have sometimes resulted in regular crosses being performed. Yes, thank you. I thought I was going crazy. In some cases, a requested clearance took too long to perform. Yes, guys, I have just finished recording the Road to Glory for today, and one of the clips in there is me trying to, literally trying to just clear the ball, and you can see it. You can see the power up. You can see the guy doing it, and it's not like he takes a minute to clear it. It is like a tenth of a second, but it's long enough for my opponent to charge me down, block the ball. He gets the ball. He scores a goal, and I'm sitting there like, how has he not just cleared it? I've pressed the button to clear it. Just clear it. This is good. Improve responsiveness of first-time passes when the ball is coming towards the passer at medium height. Nice. When requesting a pass near the touchline, players could have incorrectly taken the ball out of play. Yes. How does some of this stuff get through testing, guys? Genuinely. This is why EA should have an open beta. These problems would have been figured out in about 10 minutes if they just let everybody play it. It really would have done. Like having closed beta and then patching the game for the first 3 or 4 months of the game and then being like, oh, we're working on the new game now. Sorry, guys. Just isn't the way, is it? Sometimes a requested header pass would not occur. Lowered headed lobbed through pass and cross accuracy. Yeah, that makes sense. And that should actually fix part of the problems with corners right now. There's a really strong corner technique, at least pre-patch, where you would cross the ball immediately to the guy at the front post and then just head it on. And it didn't really matter if they were good at heading, good jumping, or whatever, they would just always connect with the ball. And the headed pass accuracy was immaculate to a player. So you'd literally cross, head, shoot, bang, 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 goal. And that would just be it. You'd just score a goal. And it kind of stemmed a little bit from the fact that that header off of the cross was insanely accurate. Improved instances of animation start pass receiver lock setting not function as intended. Addressed instances of passing animations playing out incorrectly. Pass requests were sometimes ignored by CPU AI during goal kicks. Addressed cases of attacking passing headers applying too much power and speed to the ball. Cool. As I said, guys, there's a lot here on this one. Movement and positioning. Moderately reduced speed of controlled sprint dribble, which I believe is R1 dribble, and it was strong. It was really strong. When attempting a controlled sprint dribble, sometimes the player could have lost track of the ball. Yes. Oh, man. I hope, again, there's something I hope that is addressed in here. Sometimes when I play a lock, the player just pops the ball up. Like, obviously, you got, like, pressing R3 will pop the ball up, but pressing L3 and R3 together, player locks. So how many times do I play a lock? I flick to the player, I press pass, but because they pop the ball up or pop the ball forward, I've lost the ball. This reminds me of that. It's like sometimes you press R1, you start dribbling, and they just run away from the ball. You're like, wait, what? That is not how this should be. Directed runs can now be triggered during controlled sprint dribble. Improved AI teammate attacking run logic when assessing potential offside runs. Beautiful. Improved AI teammate attacking run logic to avoid clashing with teammates. If you're in my streams a lot, guys, at least 10 times a stream when I'm playing this game, I will say the phrase, same team, guys, same team. Because of this. They just run into each other and knock each other over. Same team, right? Get out of each other's way. Stop trying to defend each other. During corners, players on the post could have been incorrectly positioned inside their own goal. Not something I experienced personally too much. Attackers could sometimes have their runs ended unexpectedly. Yep. And I feel like this is something that's been in the game for a decade or more, though, right? You get baited by your own team. A player will start making a run, and just as you pass it, they're like, I didn't get the ball in time. And now you're like, wait, if you kept going, you would have got the ball. Keep going. Addressed cases of AI teammates standing behind defenders instead of looking for an open space. Love that. I have something to say on that to do with red cards, but I think that's more of a discussion for another video entirely because it's nothing to do with the patch notes. But the fact that they stand behind defenders instead of looking for open spaces is because I feel like every player is attached to a player in the game. And you've seen it sometimes, like an AI defender will just, somebody will send a player on a manual run, and an AI defender will just track that manual run for even 20, 30 yards all the way down to your goal line. And if you don't either offside trap or manually select them and bring them back up, they will just follow the run. And that just wouldn't happen in real life. In real life, they might follow it a couple of yards, but then step back into the line, and now they're offside, right? But yeah, that's going to be for another day, I think. Address cases of AI players unintentionally stumbling after colliding with each other. And in some cases, a player could have incorrectly slowed down when attempting to avoid a slide tackle. Cool. Goalkeeping. Improved goalkeeper logic during corner kicks to address situations where players could easily score from short corners that resulted in far post crosses. Well done. Improved goalkeeper reactions to near post shots. I don't know if I like that. This game is already so overpowered at near post. Like, the reason why I don't like that is because keeper movement I hate. I think keeper movement is an anti-skill. I know some people will agree, some people will disagree. We're not here to debate that today. I think keeper movement is an anti-skill. I feel like now you're going to have the opportunity to move your keeper away from the near post to be able to also cover the far side, but also get a benefit of still being able to save at the near post because reactions have been improved near post shots. Something we're going to have to look at, I think, when we get into the game. Improved cases of goalkeepers incorrectly deflecting shots back to attackers. Improved goalkeeper punches to be stronger and have more consistent ball trajectories. Addressed instances of goalkeepers incorrectly deflecting shots into their own net. Yep, that was triggering. And it's especially happened on weak shots as well, which was really fascinating. Goalkeepers would sometimes not react to shots whilst being manually moved. Good. Don't fix that. Make that standard. On occasion, goalkeepers could have automatically ineffectively rushed out of the box in situations that did not need it. And addressed instances of goalkeeper arms clipping through their body. Cool. Generally positive changes there for goalkeepers. Dribbling and skill move. Players are now better at maintaining their movement speed when trapping the ball. Good. Improved ball trapping consistency. Good. Improved cases of air ball traps resulting in the ball going too far away from the player. Yeah, I mean, depending on the player's ball controls and the pace and height and trajectory of the ball and stuff, like, fair enough. Remove fancy ball traps for players without tricks to play styles. Didn't even know that was an issue, so fair play. Requested skill moves were sometimes not performed. Yes, again. I can't tell you how many times I've done a roulette and they've done a step over, or I've done a ball roll scoop and they've like sometimes just done nothing. Like, this is good. In some cases, oh, here we go. In some cases, ball roll could have occurred instead of the requested croqueta skill move. When attempting a first-time fake shot, sometimes a player could lose track of the ball. Yes. Again, how are these things in there? Like, I don't know what it's like to make a video game. I'm not a coder. I'm not a developer. I don't know what skill set or difficulties are required to get things right? But I feel like something like this should just be right. When attempting a first-time fake shot, sometimes the players could lose track of the ball. Just weird. The exit direction of a first-time fake shot did not always correctly follow user input. An unintentional player switch could have occurred in cases where a skill move raised the ball. Yes. Requesting a flick-up could have sometimes resulted in 2 flicks. Okay. Other gameplay updates and issues addressed. Increased frequency of attacking and shooting by the CPU AI in Be a Goalkeeper experience. In player career and professional, I'm not really interested about that. Increased stamina, strength of stamina related effects in authentic gameplay. Increased frequency of fouls committed by the CPU. Improved referee logic when making standing and slide tackle foul calls. I think that's going to be a lot more red cards, guys. It's crazy this year so far how few reds are given for the deliberate fouls, for last man fouls, for like fouls where it's on a breakaway. So many times this year I've committed a deliberate foul and I'm like, that's going to be a red card. And it's not. And I'm like, how the hell have I got away with that? I think that's going to result in a lot more red cards. I still think it's fair and right and just, right? Sometimes a referee could have incorrectly called for a penalty kick despite the fouled attacker scoring a goal inside the box. Interesting. Sometimes a player switch to the ball receiver would not occur when using the air ball or manual ball switching settings. In some cases, players could have become stuck in a shielding state. I never experienced that personally. Players could have sometimes unnaturally jumped up too high when going for headers. Right. Here's something I hope that has been addressed with this, right? Just last night, I was playing Rivals to try and get my points in. I came up against a guy who had Erling Haaland Player of the Month. I didn't record the game, but I should have done. It's done from me. He had Erling Haaland Player of the Month. And whenever he won the ball back off of me, he would play the ball into one of his 2 midfielders or his cam, and he would just do a chip through ball. That's it. And on almost every single occasion, I was about 5 yards ahead of Haaland as a defender, and the ball would bounce, and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to lock onto this now because I'm ahead. I'm ahead of him. My defender can also jump. I've got pace. Like I've like the ball is mine to win, right? Out of nowhere, as the ball bounces, Haaland would leap massively in the air and chest the ball down and almost like bully the defender out of the way at the same time and end up 5-10 yards in front. And this guy's obviously just like recognized that as a play state, and he kept doing it over and over. He scored about 7 goals against me doing it because I literally couldn't stop it. And all I thought was, he's jumping so high. I hope this has fixed that. Players could sometimes have been pushed too far when engaging in physical contact. That's a Enforcer Plus thing, that is. Shielding players were able to sustain maximum shield ability for longer than intended. Well, there goes my playstyle. I've been using Enforcer and shielding a lot this year, and looks like that's been nerfed into the ground. It wasn't even it wasn't even popular. Like, nobody cared. Give me my, Sometimes a shot could have incorrectly occurred when requesting a tackle. Yep. Or a clearance. Yeah, just good. Fix that. Pushback animations could have occurred at incorrect times. After a headed pass, the player's switch to the ball receiver did not always occur. Addressed cases of an interception resulting in the ball-winning player losing track of the ball. Yes. In loose ball situations, sometimes players could not perform a requested shot. Improved cases of late shot modifier inputs not registering, and tactical suggestions were incorrectly appearing at the same time in every match. In Ultimate Team, added functionality to sort SBCs by newest and by expiry date. I mean, that's really good, but that should have just been in the game for years. This change will be activated through a server release shortly after the title update. Added the ability to preview evolution challenge requirements and player eligibility criteria before owning the corresponding Evo. Cool. This change will be activated. Okay. Added the ability to favor and track objectives and objective groups. Brilliant. The favorited objectives along with evolutions and rivals bounties will appear in a pause menu for easier in-match tracking, as well as his own tab in the UT menu. Good. Gameplay notifications for completed objectives can be controlled through game settings, and the change will be activated through server release shortly after the title update. Address the following issues. In certain situations, a subbed player's model would not load after being subbed on. The end of match screen would not show additional rivals' points earned in a win streak. This was only a visual issue. In certain rare situations, EA Connect could have unintentionally opened during gameplay. Yep, whenever you press sprint. The first owner UI indicator could have incorrectly shown on all player items in the pre-match intro. When modifying squad tactics, squad assignments did not save when entering a match. Objectives in a group could have been sorted in reverse order. In certain situations, when bidding on items on Ultimate Team Transfer Market, the bid price could not have been changed from 99 UT coins. When using squad building for some foundations, could have shown incorrect player roles for some positions. Wow. When Champions qualification was achieved, the corresponding pop-up message appeared after every match. The yellow card UI overlay incorrectly displayed player portraits instead of player items. The home drop-down menu could have become inaccessible. Yes. Players who have been substituted on could show as out of position for their role in the corresponding overlay. Improve the color contrast and readability of upgrade indicators for evolution previews. Elite Division Tier 1 rewards were incorrectly displayed when viewing the current Rivals Weekly reward in the Division Rivals hub. In certain situations, an error could have occurred when searching for Serie B items in your club on the transfer market. The objective tab was not showing up in Ultimate Team Quick Navigation at certain times. Address controller audio quality issues when scoring a goal. The For You UI did not always display and function correctly. Formations could have been incorrectly displayed in pre-match intro of a squad battles match. After claiming multiple rewards in the FC hub, redeeming and exiting to the previous screen could have resulted in the screen not loading properly. Formations with more than 3 rows of players did not always display correctly during match intros. After previewing Division 9 rival rewards, rivals progression could disappear from the UI. This was a visual issue only. When cancelling the apply formation screen, when cancelling on the apply formation screen, the name of the formation would no longer be visible. Correct. Some attribute numbers were modified by chemistry boost, were misaligned in the player bio UI. After opening a pack, the discard value of the first item did not always display. If a player left the card lobby in live events before a match was started, an error was received instead of returning to the lobby. The transfer market did not update the transfer target winning count correctly. Some objective group rewards were missing for milestones objectives and addressed instances of overlapping text and UI elements in Evolution's menus. That's a lot. That's a lot of changes, guys. And either this is a lot of changes that's going to make this game brilliant to play, or it's a lot of changes that's going to make it even worse. I had somebody message me earlier about Rivals rewards. Hold on, let me get it. Oh no, yeah. Rivals rewards are getting updated for Season 2. I don't know how or where people have seen that. Because it's not, I thought it was going to be in here, but it's not. And so that's quite interesting. Maybe I'll have to find that and make another video on that. But they're the patch notes, guys. Can EA save this game? Is this game even dying, or are we just expecting too much? Like, I'm really excited for this. It's like most of it sounds brilliant, but it's not about what it sounds like, it's about what it plays like. And so we can only hope that this comes good. With that being said, that is going to be the end of the video for today. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.